Well, January 6, 2021 may be more than 3 years in the past now, but the Biden campaign is working to make sure it's top of mind for voters in Wisconsin. Two officers who are working at the Capitol that day are on a 3-stop tour of the dairy state, making their first stop today right here in Madison. But how much will their voices impact the election? Well, our Braden Ross sat down with political expert Charles Franklin to find out. Braden?
Yeah, Franklin told me this strategy isn't likely to change the minds of swing voters, but it might help the Biden campaign with a different goal.
As ugly as that day was, I'm proud to say that our officers won that day.
Thursday morning, a stark warning for Wisconsin voters.
We may not be so lucky next time.
Police officers Harry Dunn and Daniel Hodges were at the U.S. Capitol building 3 years ago when a mob of Trump supporters broke in.
There were many times that day that I feared for my life or that I was going to be permanently maimed. Whether someone was trying to gouge out my eye or crushing me in a doorway, stealing my riot baton and beating me in my head.
Now they're recounting their stories on a Wisconsin tour for the Biden campaign.
I know what a bloodbath looks like because we saw one on January 6th, and I fear it will be worse if he regains power.
But how much will their voices really impact the outcome this November?
It's an advantage, but it's not likely to move many votes.
Political expert Charles Franklin says reminders about the 2020 election and its aftermath are sure to be all over both presidential campaigns, but not necessarily to persuade swing voters.
Both campaigns are out to mobilize their base voters. Democrats think issues surrounding January 6th help mobilize their voters. Trump's folks think that doubts about the 2020 election help mobilize their voters.
Donald Trump has supporters that under no circumstances will leave his side. We're not trying to reach those people.
What the Biden campaign is in part trying to do is mobilize people on January 6th, not because they're changing minds, but because they're reminding some of their supporters who are wavering right now, thinking about a third-party candidate, thinking about not voting.
Now, the officers spoke at another event in Milwaukee this afternoon. They'll make their last Wisconsin stop tomorrow in Eau Claire.